Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jags postgame show.
Yeah! We are back! We are back! We are back! We are back! Well, maybe we're not back, but the Jags got to win. We're not the worst team in the NFL. No, we're not, ladies and gentlemen. Just happened at historic Wembley Stadium in front of 86,000 screaming maniacs. And the Jags and the Patriots hooked up in a barn burner. And in the end, the Jags imposed their will on New England and was victorious by a final score of 32-16. Right? That was a score. Hi, everybody. Hicken here in studio. Brent's over there in Wembley. We're going to hear from Doug Pederson, Trevor Lawrence, some players as well. They can come back. Everybody can get on the plane. Everybody, you're allowed on the plane. I thought maybe at the end of the first quarter, not everybody was going to be on the plane. It didn't look good, okay? But the Jags were able to take care of things, get going. Maybe they were tired after the first quarter. I don't know what was going on in the first quarter, but in the end, New England is a bad football team, gang. And the Jags are not a great team, but they're not horrific, I don't think. So we'll find out more in the next 4 weeks. So they're able to get the win and get a victory and get to 2-5 on the season. It's a start. All right, the Bears game is going to bug all of us for quite some time, but at least they were able to get a win over New England. Listen, the Patriots had gone like 10 games in a row without scoring on their first drive until today. The Jags defense is not very good, but it was good enough. I don't know anybody on New England. Drake May's their first-round quarterback. Hunter Henry is a decent football player, so that's good. Deion White, high draft pick out of Georgia Tech, edge guy. Okay, Christian Gonzalez, corner from Oregon. You would be hard-pressed to name 5 guys on New England. Ramondre Stevenson, you fantasy guys know him, the running back who didn't get anything today. So Jags able to get it done. We'll take it, man. We'll take it. That was we'll take the victory and go from there. The Jags then got the ball after New England scored. They ran it twice. They had like a 3rd and 5, and they threw like a swing pass that didn't even get to the short of the sticks. Got tackled and had to punt. Then New England went down the field and scored a field goal. And after that, it really was all Jacksonville. Now, a lot of you got after me on Twitter when I said the Jags had a 17-play drive. They ran it like 12 straight times. And they had a 3rd and 2 and then a 4th and 1. And they ran it on 4th and 1 and didn't make it. And it would have made it 28-10. So a lot of you went crazy. I was like, if it was any other team, kick and take the points. But it's New England. Are they really? And then, by the way, New England did a really dumb thing. Gerard Mayo, their coach, got some bad advice because they did go down and score quickly to make it 25-16. Now, that's a 9-point lead. What should you do there? Let's play math. What should you do, gang? You kick and you make it a 1-score game, 25-17. Or do you go for 2? If you make it, you're only down a touchdown. But why? Don't take that risk. They didn't make it, so they still needed 2 scores. And you got to know the time frame, right? Where are we in the game? There's 8 minutes to go. So not really a good call by Mayo. Jags then kill about 4 minutes plus running the ball. The Jags ran it an unbelievable amount of times today. Like almost, maybe 40? Did they run it 40, Liv? They ran it a ton of times. Give me the team stats. Throw that up. It was a dominating performance on the ground. So, and listen, 39 times. They ran it 39 times today. That's a lot. I don't know where it stands in history, but that's a lot. Somewhere Tony Baselli on the radio was he was cooing. He was so happy. He was so excited. He was like a happy dog getting pet on his belly. 364 yards to 295, 23 first downs, red zone, 3 scores and 5 tries. Didn't turn it over. And Trevor was good, man. Trevor had a lot of good throws today. Boy, that 58-yarder to Brian Thomas Jr. Listen, I'm all for the wins. As a fan, I like to see Trevor throw. So only got 20 throws today, completed 15 of them for 197 yards. Went down the field, 193 yards, I guess. Went down the field some. Drake May had a good game. He's, 26. He doesn't have anybody to throw to except the tight end, by the way. That rookie out of Washington drops everything, apparently. Keishon Butte still on the team. I'm telling you, not a good team. And so Trevor was very efficient, which, again, whatevs. Take the win. Take the win, get to 2-5, get back home and see what you can do. They'll be back home on Sunday at the bank. So that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to go back to a couple other things. Our defense is not good, all right? And I can't count today as today being a great day. I can't. Because even though New England only scored 16 points, Josh Hines-Allen, 2 offsides, and on the only touchdown on the first touchdown that New England scored, he was out in coverage. Why, I don't know. And he was like on skates with Jermichael Hasty. So not good, not good. It was nice getting Tyson Campbell back. He dropped an interception. Andre Cisco dropped an interception. So that happened today as well. On that second drive, by the way, that the Patriots had, we were offsides 3 times. Now, listen, everybody's going to be happy. I'm curious, like Whiskers, the cat, about one issue here, where the Jags traded Roy Robertson-Harris, seemingly they said they have depth on their defensive line interior, which I don't know if it's good depth or not. I'm not sure. But I'm curious, Mason Smith, and we'll find out from Doug Pederson, a healthy scratch today, the second-round pick, the 48th pick overall, doesn't play, second time this year. What's going on there? And you know that that's a Balky-Pederson thing. It sure seems like it. So, again, the Jags won the game, so I guess it won't matter. I don't know if it'll be addressed. We'll find out maybe in the press conference from Pederson why they felt the need to play Ledbetter. And then on that first drive, I really thought it was going to come to a head because there was a 3rd and 3, and they ran it right up the middle, and we had nobody there to make a play. And I'm like, interesting. 3rd and 3, they run it right up. It did not look like it was going to be a good day. For a whole quarter, the Jags were terrible. Terrible. And then they fixed it. And so I'll say this. I'll compliment them. And I like to do this. And I'd rather do this. 1 week ago, Trevor Lawrence said, we got to stop being so fragile. Right? And that game today was screaming for fragility. We're down 10-0, and this thing could go south. And it didn't. So, again, keeping in mind who the opponent was, because I think New England is in the hunt for the first overall draft pick. I really do. So keeping in mind who the opponent was, the Jags were not fragile. They played better football. And Trevor really jump-started them with the throwing, and then they ran to win. All right, I've gone 7 or 8 minutes. I don't think I've mentioned Tank Bigsby. Super game today. Super game. 26 for 118, 4.5 yards a carry. Dearness Johnson chipped in with 38 yards, also had a nice catch for about 27 on a drive. Shout out to the running backs room. Did not miss ETN in the least. Have not missed ETN at all. ETN has not had a good season, and now he's got a hamstring. He practiced a little bit. Usually hamstrings are minimum 4 or 5 weeks. But if it was not a severe one, maybe he can get back by next week. But what do you do? I mean, this Bigsby kid is running wonderfully. And I think most of you would agree that Bigsby should get the bulk of the carries right now going forward. And so that will be a pleasant or a good decision for Doug Pederson to make. But I would suspect we're going to see a lot more of Bigsby. They efforted Brian Thomas Jr. today, right? They efforted getting him the football. And they did. They got him the football. He had 89 yards receiving. He had a good day as well for the Jaguars. He had the 58-yarder they should throw it deep at least once. I would suggest once a half with Brian Thomas Jr. They tried to get him on the end of rounds. Not so much. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, nothing. Again, we only threw it 20 times, though. So those are the numbers that they're going to look like. He loves Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram has 15 catches now in 2 games since he's been back. And Brian Thomas Jr. is clearly the number one guy, clearly the number one option. And he had a touchdown today. He had a 58-yarder today. He is having a terrific rookie campaign. So shout out, clap up for Brian Thomas Jr. That's a good thing. Again, I can't really fault 1 for 24 and 1 for 13 because there was only 20 pass attempts. So it's hard to sit there and fault anything in the passing game when you're only throwing it 20 times. And they didn't need to. They were in control of that football game. That's why I thought they should go for it. Or I don't think they should go for it. I said I don't have a problem with them going for it. I would have kicked it, made it 28-10, game over. The game was still over. But New England made it interesting by going down the field and scoring. And if they'd gotten the 2-point, made it 25-18, then we would have had something cooking here, right, for the Patriots. But they didn't because they're no good. And bad teams do what New England did, and the Jags were able to stymie them and get the job done defensively to a point. Like I said, I don't think our defense is good at all. I don't think it's average. I think it's below average. I'm not sure what we're trying to accomplish in a lot of ways with the guys that we play, with the guys that we choose to play. I'll be interested to see the snap totals today. Maybe they had some of their more important guys on the field for more snaps. I hope they did. Again, I don't think Josh Hines-Allen did much of anything today, and that's a concern because we are 7 games into the season, and Trayvon Walker is clearly a better pass rusher right now than Josh Hines-Allen. There's no question about it. He has passed him. In fact, last year, Josh Hines-Allen had 17.5 sacks. Trayvon had 10. This year, Trayvon has, I think, 6.5. So that's 16.5. He's almost caught Josh Hines-Allen for the year and a half now because we're closing in on half a season here at 2-5. All right, things are going to get real now for the Jags going forward as we await Doug Pederson. And again, we're going to get him quick today because just pop him up if he's there, because they want to get home. So they're going to go quick. So we jumped in we got him in last week. We waited almost 40 minutes. Today, it looks like we're going to wait about 13 minutes. I know this team. They want to get home. They want to get out of there. It's a long flight. They want to get back to Jacksonville. Let's hear from Doug Pederson.
No. The only pressure was just that, we needed to win a game. It didn't matter where. Obviously, we love coming over here, but it didn't matter where. We just needed to feel what winning feels like again. Proud of the guys, proud of the coaches for the way they, we worked this past, 10 days or so over here, and good way to finish this little run.
Coach, when you go for it on 4-1 and you don't get it like that, often we see a potential shift in momentum from the opposite team. Obviously, they went back down the field and scored. Did you speak to Trevor before he went back out on the next drive and the team? And if you did, what kind of message you put?
Yeah, situations like that, it's going to happen. I was just to go back to the decision. I mean, I was riding the momentum of what we were doing leading up to that point. Our offensive line was really, taking control of the game at that point, and I felt like just putting it in their hands one more time, get the first down right there, and potentially, ice the game at that point. But they went down, scored. We get the ball back, and you still got to play football, and that's just the message. You still got to continue to play, and we were able to do that. To go down and we ended up taking a little time off. We punted the football back to them. Defense did a great job, and then of course from the 10-yard line able to punch it back in. But you just got to play for 60 minutes. These games are never over, and that's always going to be the message.
What did you see from Bigsby today and just the way he ran the ball? Is that kind of what you need from your team where he gets an opportunity and he really does take it? He's done a really good job for us. Going into the season, behind TJ and he's earned the right to be out there. He's earned, an opportunity, and he did a nice job today.
ran hard, ran tough, as they say, ran behind his pads. I thought the offensive line did a great job for him, tight ends, blocking and things of that nature. But, he did the rest. I think he had went over 100 yards again today and just a great effort.
Coach, what kind of message do you echo to the team after a win like that here in the UK?
We've got to duplicate it. We got to duplicate the energy. We got to duplicate, what we did over here. This week of practice has been one of our better weeks of practice. And, we've got to be able to carry this all the way back and do it again. I mean, that's what this league is. It's a short-term memory. You just try to go 1-0 each week. But I thought the guys really handled themselves, professionally while we were here, for the 10 days.
Coach, how are you with how your offensive rookies are developing? So the chance to have a great game, but also Brian had a fantastic game as well. Are you happy with how they're progressing?
Yeah, these guys have really, proven, their worth. Obviously, their draft stock and things of that nature. You look at what Parker Washington did on that punt return. Obviously, he's just one guy. 10 other guys had to do their job. They did a great job there. Brian Thomas, I think each week he just keeps getting better and better. And he and Trevor, have had a really good connection going. It's something we got to continue to find ways to, scheme him open. I thought Press did a nice job, this week in doing that and getting him, some balls down the field, as well as Christian and Evan, and everybody had a hand. So, but that's what it takes, I think, to win these games. Is it, it's not just one guy. I think the ball has to, be spread around, and it was today.
In your time with the Jags, have you had a more complete quarter than the second today?
That was pretty complete. I think it was 22 points, right? I mean, the way we started the game, both sides of the ball wasn't what we wanted. New England came out and obviously scored, got up 10, and then we finally answered. But it was a complete quarter, but again, you're going to have those. So you're going to have a quarter like that from time to time. They're not always, every game's not going to be like that. But it was good to see. It was something that we hadn't had this year, and it was good to see.
Coach, we haven't seen many kick return touchdowns in this new format. Washington got one today. Is that something you guys saw in film, or is it a case of big-time players making big-time plays in big-time games?
Yeah, this dynamic kickoff is, is different week to week. Probably not, I think a couple weeks ago it was 30% or less balls were being returned. It's a hard play. It's difficult, and guys are too good, and you don't want to risk that return, but again, each week is different. There's going to be weeks where we're going to kick the ball off, and there's going to be weeks we're going to put it out of the back of the end zone. So we take a look every week and see what's best. Oh, Gene.
Did seem like you guys handled it well. You had you're staring at a 10-minute goal deficit, and for the next 20, 25 minutes, played pretty close to a perfect game.
Gene, and this is what our team can do, right? I feel strongly that if we play like that, that's what we're capable of. Now, is it sustainable over the course of 60 minutes? It's not going to be sustainable. I get it. The other team is just as good. But again, we got in a situation where we were down 10, but nobody was like, here we go again, or defeated, or had negative thoughts. It was just one play at a time. We'll work ourselves back in it, and offense went out, and we showed the complementary aspect of the game today, in all three phases, and that's what it the spark that hopefully can get this thing going.
With the 2-point conversion, Coach, was that just an opportunity to try something out in a real-time scenario, or was that something a decision that you made just to go with the momentum?
No, those are thought out. I mean, situations like that where there's a penalty on the defense, on an extra point, you get the ball at the 1 yard line. I mean, it's a way to get an extra point, right? 2 points. And so, no, it wasn't something we just were trying. It's definitely planned and executed well.
Okay, couple more. Last week against the ground game, had a bit of difficulty getting going. Was there an emphasis that this week in practice on getting that going? And we also saw Brian Thomas on the ground. Is that something we could see more of that as the season unfolds?
As far as Brian goes, we try to find ways to put the ball in his hand, right? And to answer your question, yeah, we'll try to find unique ways, to get him the football where he can run it, but obviously he's better, down the field. But and then the run game was just something that, look, it's it's a mindset to run the football in the National Football League, and it takes a lot of people, not just the offensive line. It's the quarterback getting us in the right run, the 5-0 linemen being on the right page, targeted right, the tight ends are involved, even receivers going in and digging out safety. So just thought today was a complete game. Obviously, we'll take a look at the tape on the way back and make corrections and learn.
Coach, you mentioned the dominant running game today. With Tank's performance in particular, when Travis comes back from his injury, is that a position where Tank may be taking the majority of reps going forward and might be RB1?
I don't think so. I'm not a believer I should say I'm a believer where injury doesn't replace your position, right? I think you have to have a fair competition. For us, we're blessed to have two really good running backs right now. And when ETN comes back, he's just as explosive, just as good, just as powerful. And it's still his job, but Tank has done some really good things. And obviously we're going to continue to find ways to put the ball in his hands too, because he's a little different runner than ETN is.
Coach, thank you. Thank you.
You want one?
Sorry, just a small question.
Yeah.
For international football players out there, you see the game is growing. We have another record today. You see the international game is growing. As a head coach, you have some small class of players out there that want to make it to the big league. You can't. Don't let people say you can't do anything, right? You got to believe in yourself. Give yourself an opportunity. Be seen. And your work ethic is gonna go a long way. A lot of these players in this locker room, that's how they grew up, right? They grew up with an opportunity to play this game as a young player. But obviously now, with the international pathway, there's more opportunities for players to find themselves on NFL rosters, and we have to continue to develop the sport, I think, globally, because it just makes us a stronger league overall. Thank you.
All right, there he goes, Doug Pederson. Some interesting comments. We'll go over them in just a minute. Fan facts from game day. Longest punt return touchdown in Jaguars history by Parker Washington. 97 yards officially. Gosh, they scored some points finally. The most in the first half since 2017. 2017 was a good year. That was in December. Bigsby leads the NFL in yards per carry. He was averaging 8 coming in, 4.5 today, but boy, I don't know about ETN. I disagree with Coach, and it's his team. Bigsby's getting the bulk of the carries. I'm going to ride the hot guy, and he's the hot guy, and he looks good. And we'll work ETN back as ETN gets healthy. But right now, this is Tank's team. Let's hear from Brett Martineau over at Wembley.
Everybody take a breath. After that 10-0 start, it sure didn't look like it was going to be the outcome it was, but the Jags blitzed the Patriots in the second quarter. They really dominated the game. There on out, they couldn't finish it, and the defense gave up a touchdown, but I think those things get hidden in a loss. They could be bigger problems down the road when you play good teams, but listen, the Jags have won twice in 7 games. So you want to talk about that? Well, that's up to you, but I'm not going to. I'm going to talk about the Jaguars getting sparks from Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas Jr., Tank Bigsby, Ventrell Miller. These guys are playing good football for the Jags. It's a young group that is sparking the Jaguars, and you could feel it out there in the second quarter. And once the Jaguars finally got some momentum, they built off it. They really controlled the line of scrimmage. The run game was strong all day, despite not being able to finish that long 11.5-minute drive, and they dominate the New New England Patriots. So they did what they had to do. You had to get a win over the Patriots, beat the rookie quarterback, and get some momentum going back to the United States. And they'll be home against the Green Bay Packers. This is a brutal stretch coming up the next 5 games for the Jags. They need to continue to play this kind of football, but even better if they're going to try to make up for the slow start of the season. Happy bunch of Jags finally, though. That's nice. Hopefully everybody's happy back home, too. Always on the road with the Jacksonville Jaguars, this time in London, England. I'm Brett Martineau, Action Sports Jags.
Brian Thomas Jr. at the podium.
And just taking everything step by step, putting my best foot forward each and every day and just getting better.
Brian, there was clearly an effort to get you the ball today and get the ball in your hands, using you in the running game as well. How comfortable do you feel running the ball as well?
I feel super comfortable running the ball. I was able to play running back a little bit growing up in high school and stuff like that. So, it just kind of feels kind of normal to me, just being able to play that, just getting the ball in my hands. And I feel like I'm a playmaker. So once I get the ball in my hands, I feel like I can make a play.
Brian, you've in the league have both really taken to the league well, and obviously we see lots of LSU wide receivers really thriving. Do they set you up for success in this league? Yeah, for sure. LSU is a great school, great football, great coaches there, and just the way that we work there at LSU, that's what we pride ourselves on, just going out there and being the best that we can be each and every day, and just putting the work in, and we push each other just to be the best that we can be. Brian, can you talk a little bit about how the team handled this early deficit? You guys haven't done a really good job of handling adversity in some of these other games.
Yeah.
Here you got a 10-0 deficit, and it just seemed like the offense like boom, answered the bell with back-to-back touchdown drives.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the mindset of the team, not letting a bad start lead to something worse?
That's been the emphasis, is sticking together and playing together, just playing for one another. And, just coming out there, even though we didn't have the start that we maybe wanted, just sticking together and keep playing. It'll all fall together.
Well, when the punt return goes in from Parker Washington, the longest punt return in Jack's history,
Yeah.
What does that do for the mentality of the side, and how much does that encourage your guys?
It was great to be able to see Parker do that. We were getting ready to go on offense, and just all of a sudden he just going for a 95, 96-yard touchdown. So it was amazing. Just and everybody on the sideline celebrating for him, just happy for him. So it was amazing to be able to see that.
Last one. There is one. All right. Thanks, Brian.
All right, there he goes. Brian Thomas Jr. had a terrific day for the Jags again. He's got more receiving yards than any rookie in the National Football League. He might be over 500 already through 7 games. He's going to have 1,200 receiving yards at this rate. So great stuff from Brian Thomas Jr. On the football field. And a quiet kid, and just, he's a welcome addition to this football team, and already the number one. I was looking at some of my notes, and when it was 10-0, the Jags went on a critical drive, and it started poorly because it started with Trevor calling a timeout, and I'm like, oh gosh, here we go again, right? So we're calling timeouts, but he made a big-time throw to Christian Kirk, who made a nice catch for about a 24-yard gain. They had a couple good runs from Tank Bigsby and Dearness Johnson. They got in the red zone, and then they kind of bogged down. It was 3rd and goal, and it was from back at like the 8 or 9, and that's when he hit Brian Thomas Jr. for the touchdown. And suddenly, a game that's being dominated by the Patriots has the Jags right back in it, and that's the beauty of the NFL, and it's 10-7. And then the defense got to stop, and then Trevor hit Brian Thomas Jr. for 58 yards. It was an 82-yard drive that was terrific. And then you had the 95-yard punt return, or 7-yard punt return for Parker Washington. They got the 2-point conversion. It's 22-10, and the Jags are totally in control. But I will say this, they came out on the opening drive of the second half and had terrific balance, 6 runs, 6 passes. It was a 12-play drive, and so that allowed them to kick a field goal, which was also outstanding. And then they had that long, just milk the clock drive. Liv, do you have the time of possession? I'm just curious about that. In that realm, the time of possession was, the Jags had it for 33-15, so they won the time of possession, which, again, it all came together today. And, again, I got to keep saying this just because they had to win today, and they did, and that's a great thing. Period, end of story. But they won against the Patriots, who, honest to goodness, won their first game. They may be one of those teams that win their opener and never win again. They are not good. And they're going to be hard-pressed to find victories. We'll see. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it doesn't matter. You have to beat the team. You have to beat the team that's in front of you. Do we have the schedule you said you wanted to show? Okay. Well, you can pop it up if you'd like. There it is. And okay, so Packers, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, bye, and Texans. 4 teams against the NFC. Realistically, if you get a split there and you get to 4-7, you're still kind of hanging around outside the periphery. But that's what you're going to need to do. Can you win 2 of those games? At Philly. By the way, that we'll find out on Tuesday if that's staying at Sunday night. I would be surprised if it does, but we shall see. Tank Bigsby at the podium. Let's hear from him.
Staying patient, staying calm, not getting too anxious, and waiting on the opportunities come. When they come, you got to take full advantage of them.
Tank, with Etienne being out injured this week, did you see this as an opportunity for you to claim a spot with more reps?
I just do whatever I have to do for this team to win, and my job, whatever my role is, whatever I have to do at my best ability. Take advantage of the opportunities, of course, but just come out and help this team win, and that's what I try to do at my best ability.
Tank, what was kind of going through your mind early on? This early second quarter, you guys are down 10-0.
Just staying patient, being positive to the team, the guys being positive to me, everyone spreading great energy and being patient. And then, like I said, once that opportunity come, be ready to execute it at a high level. So I feel like that's what we did when those ops came. We took full advantage of them, man. We got to keep doing it.
Tank, obviously you had a great game today. Travis Sullivan coming back. Dearness Johnson's also involved. How did you feel that all 3 of you complement each other?
All those good backs, Coach put us in different positions, and we just have to execute at our jobs when we get opportunity. So keep growing as a player, keep growing as a team, and keep doing what we have to do to help the Jazz win. Thank you.
What does a win like this against Patriots, obviously away from Florida as well, do for the confidence of this team?
It do a lot. We work hard this week after we lost when the first game down. We did a lot of work this week and leaned on each other and said we got to go out and have fun. And I feel like we got back to having fun. Offense started picking it up, and I felt like defense fed off the energy. And then we felt the energy, and it just kept going. So that's the contagious thing about this game. When one side clicked, the other side will get going, and that's the best thing about it. I feel like we all clicked, and we just got to keep doing it.
Tank, you played in big games in your career in the SEC, but what does it mean to you personally to have this moment at Wembley with almost 90,000 people here, and especially that second touchdown to get in the end zone like we need?
First I just want to thank God for giving me this opportunity, honestly, and it's amazing. It feels, like you don't get too many opportunities in this National Football League. So when you get one, you have to take full advantage of them and do it at your best ability. And I felt like as we kept running the ball that the Patriots would get tired, and we just got to keep going, and we got to keep going and keep going and keep going. And I just took advantage of those opportunities because on film it showed like fourth quarter come, third quarter come, those guys will start arm tackling and they'll start loafing. So we just did what we had to do when those ops came.
Tank, last week, not necessarily the best game on the ground. This week, massive improvement. How do you ensure that this keeps going into future weeks?
Just getting going, just going out there and keep improving every week and trying to be the best player I can be out there for my teammates, myself, and my family. Just keep doing what I can do at my best ability.
Tank, you're 2-5 at the moment, so there's like little margin for error. Do you feel with your record as it is at the moment, your backs are against the wall, and that's kind of giving you a bit more motivation?
Yeah, I feel like this is a time of adversity, and adversity shows real character. And it shows who you can be and who you are. And I feel like today showed what this team can be when our back's against the wall and when we're going through something. So let's keep going.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Tim.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let's keep going. It's going to get a lot tougher. You want to talk about adversity again, just to review. Next week at the bank against the Cheeseheads, which means a lot of Green Bay fans will be in attendance. Then the Eagles on a Sunday night. The Vikings here at home. They'll have the, I think that's a white helmet game, by the way, and then up at Detroit. Boy, it'd be nice to win the home games because it's going to be awful tough to win on the road, those 2 games. But we'll see. Again, you can't get too far ahead of yourself. It's just a nice victory. Parker Washington with a heck of a punt return. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, definitely. Just going into that play, I mean, I'm knowing that that punter was about to he was booming him, so I knew he could outkick the coverage. I saw the opportunity, and I was just like, let's be aggressive, and it paid off, and I was glad to make that play.
Parker, the longest punt return in Jaguars franchise history. How does that make you feel?
It's a special moment. It's crazy because all week talking with teammates, we're like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get one. You're gonna score and get a punt return. I was telling some of the players, some of the coaches, I was like, I just want one. I just want one career punt return touchdown or just any return touchdown. And it was just a special moment. And even before the game, I watched a little bit of Deshaun Jackson. He's one of my favorite players. So it just inspired me, and just being able to go out there and make a play like that, it was fun.
One of the running things in London right now is celebrations, touchdown celebrations. We've had T in the end zone from the Bears, we've had the parent trap from Vikings. Talk me through your celebration, because I noticed a little wave before you fell into the end zone, followed by the Kevin Hart darts in the end zone. Was that something you guys planned? Talk me through your celebration.
Yeah, it was pretty much planned a little bit. It was funny. I was out with my family yesterday, joking around. I said, if I score tomorrow, this what we're gonna do. And there's like, and my auntie was like, I'm gonna do it with you. I'm gonna do it with you. So it was a special moment to just see it happen in real time and speaking into existence, and it was just a special moment.
Marco, when you do a play like that, obviously it pushes you onto cloud nine. You know, it's euphoria, get touchdown, like reference to the longest touchdown Jets franchise history. How easy is it to go back on the sideline and sort of reset your mind to leveling out that elation, I suppose?
Yeah, just feel like it just goes back to, like you say, just your mentality. Chop wood, carry water. I mean, keep going. I mean, I about to say before this day, I wasn't starting. I had to step up. Dev went down, so it's just being ready for the moment and seizing that moment. And so going back to the sideline, it's like reset. Let's get another one. Say don't get satisfied. Chop wood, carry water. Keep going no matter what.
Did you feel the punter getting his hands on the bottom of your legs a little bit? Because there was no contact at all before that.
I mean, just in that play, it was like that's my first time ever getting that close to the snapper or even the punter. So I just knew from my mindset when I think about it, I'm gonna run through them because they don't want to tackle. So just in that moment, I just was like, let's just trust my speed, and if he tackles me, I hope he wouldn't, but I'm just gonna try and run through him or just right around him.
How would you describe the celebration? Is it a splash or a drop, or what exactly was that?
Because I always do my little whatever. And I was telling one of my teammates again, I said, if I get a chance and if I have room and if I get a chance, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn around right before the end zone and then kind of do it, and then get up and start doing it for real. So it was just a fun time, just being able to have fun. I feel like that's what it's all about. Bring juice to the team the best way you can, and that momentum carried into the rest of the game, and I felt like that helped us get a win today.
That was also an international NFL record. And I think, obviously the win is the most important for you guys. The team results are the most important. But is that something a bit fun about being able to come over here and play these international games and maybe there are some stats and some honors you're enforced to achieve when you're over here?
I mean, it's special. I mean, being overseas, even just being here for the last 9 to 10 days. I was out golfing on our day off, and I was like, who would have ever thought I'm golfing overseas? So it's just surreal, just special, and I just want to embrace it and just have fun with it.
Couple more.
I'll say, before we take another trip, any of the guys feeling homesick yet? Or keep this little trip going?
You definitely want to stay. I would say I do miss my bed. I'm a homebody, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I love it. It's a blessing to be able to come over here each year with the Jaguars. My second time, and way better experience this time for me, being able to get in the end zone and end with a win going back. Special. I mean, I'm ready to go home, but I wouldn't mind staying if this means winning. Oh, I did not know. So it's special. Oh, that's special. Like I said, it's just a special night just for the team getting us back on track. Got to keep going though. It don't stop. It don't stop here. We got to go back to the United States and continue to do what we do and handle business. Go 1-0.
Parker, how much do you think this result can provide a spark for this team? Because some people thought that getting that first win against the Colts would do that. It didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
What do you guys have to do to try to make sure that this momentum that keeps going is not just a one-off?
I mean, it starts in practice, starts with the preparation. I mean, we had a great week of practice, great competition. The energy was there. And like I said, I feel like an issue was translating that to the game, having that same energy, having our teammates back, picking everybody up who needs to be picked up, and just playing together. I feel like that made tonight special. And we just got to keep building on that. And I feel like that'll take us a long way for the rest of the year.
You said you've been here like 9-10 days. Aside from the win, what's been your favorite part about this trip to London?
I mean, it's special because my mom, she plans a trip every year. So as long as I'm with the Jags, she's here. Just being able to see her smile and have a great time overseas. It makes me smile, keeps me going. I'm excited for her to be able to have that special moment, and it makes me smile too.
Washington, and because of him, the Jags are able to improve to 2-5 on the season as we take a look at the schedule. And I'll say this about Parker Washington. It was interesting, and the question I don't think was asked, but I think he alluded to the fact that they outkicked the coverage, and so he decided to be aggressive and take it because normally, a punt returner will stand on the 10-yard line, maybe the 8-yard line, and if it goes over his head, he doesn't go back and get it. But Parker decided, I'm going to go back and get it, and it's a good thing he did. It was a backbreaker for the Patriots. It was a backbreaker. It was a great play and great to see by the young man and a great moment for him to score a touchdown. Andre Cisco now meeting with the media. Let's see, definitely a different tone this week than 1 week ago.
I think we just stuck to our process, allowed ourselves to continue to grow. I think being in London is a unique opportunity to get closer to each other and to really lean in. So I think there was a lot of that this week. It showed at practice and showed up today.
Andre, we just sort of overheard you a little bit talking about the records that Parker has broken in international and in franchise history. How pleased are you with him for getting that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Super happy for Parker. I think he took advantage of the opportunity today, and it was a long time coming, it seems like, for him because he always, is explosive on returns. But today he broke loose, and I'm super happy for him and the team.
Andre, today Hunter Henry went for like 90 yards. Last week, Cole Kmet went for 70 yards and a couple of touchdowns. How do you go about shutting down tight ends in the coming weeks?
I think a lot of it is just going to be more disciplined in coverage. I think, when it became zones, they started manipulating our zones a little bit and using the tight ends and kind of, working off some of the guys in the middle and just able to kind of hit open spots on the field. So not a lack of, ability to cover at all, just, understanding what they're going to be trying to do, what's on film.
Andre, a quarterback like Drake May has an ability to make plays with his feet as much as he does with his arm. In the secondary, what shifts for you in terms of your approach when taking on a QB with that kind of skill set?
Yeah, we try to just stick to our rules. When he does get loose, you actually want to stay back because he could throw on the run, obviously. But he had a few when he escaped and got some yardage. For the secondary, honestly, it kind of stays the same. Yeah.
Andre, what did you sense that the reaction of your teammates to your comment earlier in the week about the quick remark? What kind of feedback you get? Did they feel like you were glad you said it, or were they put out by it? What was the general reaction?
The general reaction was, where you're talking about somebody in particular. And once that kind of cleared the air, I would say the conversations were productive. It was just along the lines of, how I felt in my personal position on the field. And obviously didn't say it how I wanted to in that moment, just raw emotion. But definitely allowed each other to just talk about it. I know some guys are just like, oh, I heard about your quote, were you talking about somebody in particular? And once I was like, nah, not at all. More so just a feel of the game. Cool. Appreciate you guys.
All right, there he goes. Andre Cisco asked about the quitting comment by Gene Fournette from the Times-Union, and you heard what he said and how he had to answer it. And so here are the AFC South right now. The Texans just got an interception of Jordan Love. They're down in the red zone. They got a 3rd and 9, and they are trying to score a touchdown. The Colts are taking on the Dolphins. The Jags win, and then the Titans will be at the Buffalo Bills. And watching the 3rd and 9 right now. Free play for the Texans and incomplete, but they'll get another one. Trevor Lawrence at the podium.
You can't be so fragile as to, take any bad play and not, keep playing hard. Do you feel like this game, being down 10-0, that you guys did exactly what you wanted your teammates to do, and that is not be fragile, but come back, boom, boom, touchdown, and then punt return for touchdown?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great job today of dealing with the adversity. I mean, every game you're going to have some momentum swings every week. So I thought we did a nice job of, they scored early, and then we ended up punting on our first possession, and then they went and got a field goal. And offensively, we just knew we had to settle in and just get some points, get some positive plays going. And we were able to do that, and we scored. And then I felt like after that, our defense really settled in. So that's how you play complementary football is, settle in early like we did in second possession, and then our defense was able to really pin their ears back. And once we got control of the game, I thought we did a nice job of offensively of keeping those possessions really long. I think we had I don't know what the stats were, but it felt like we had some really long possessions that chewed up a lot of clock, and we can do better on scoring on all those possessions. I know that one turnover on downs down there and inside the 15 or whatever it was disappointing to us, but I thought we did a nice job of using the clock. We ran the ball great today, so that always helps.
Trevor, earlier in the week, I spoke to you in the Grove about your relationship with guys like Brian Thomas and Hank Bigsby. Both guys have had big games today. What would you say changed from last week to this week?
Just with the whole team, you're saying?
Yeah.
Sport's kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, I think that we had a great week of prep. This season though, we've had good weeks of practice and not played well on Sunday though. So I won't say that that doesn't always mean that you're going to play really well. But it makes it easier. It's hard to if you don't have a good week of preparation and practice. So I thought we had a good week of preparation. I thought that just the energy of practice was good. Guys were having fun. Obviously it sucks kind of where we were at and, haven't won as many games as we wanted to win. But we had a lot of fun. We competed. And I think just being around your teammates like that helps. And we picked each other up. And, obviously the real fix is being able to go play well on Sunday, which we were able to do today and get a win. That makes us feel a lot better. So.
Can you take me through that play where you let the ball go deep to Brian Thomas? What did you see when you decided today?
They were in basically a cover 4 quarters look, and safeties were low. And that was honestly the look we were wanting for that play. And we had another option if that wasn't the coverage and the situation. But Brian did a great job of just running at the corner, keeping outside leverage, and just running. And then I'd put it out there and let him go make a play. It was a great catch. He's good at that. He's been making a lot of plays for us. So it's fun to watch him. It's fun to play with him. And just to see him get better every week, we got to keep using him.
Trevor, you just became the NFL London Games all-time passing yards leader. Given all of your experience playing over there, how at home do you now feel in London?
Feels great. This is my 4th year being over here. It's always, it's better when you win. That's for sure. I've done both. So it's a lot more fun when we win over here and we get to go on the flight home and enjoy it. And that flight back is not very fun after you lose. So I'm excited for that today and to just be able to enjoy it and soak it up for a few hours. But being here in London, you guys are awesome. Welcome us. The fans are amazing. I mean, what a crowd today. And every year it's like that. So we appreciate it. And you guys treat us well. And we enjoy being over here. And obviously it's pretty unique. When I first got here, it was something that it's just an interesting deal. Like something I never really thought about doing. And then being over here every year, it really does feel like almost like a second home and a place where we really do feel more at home here than a lot of other teams do, I'm sure. So we appreciate you guys.
Even though you set your own record second Saturday, obviously your team at Park Washington has also set some franchise and international records.
I heard.
How pleased were you for him?
Man, just so happy for him. We've seen him make those plays, whether it's preseason or even sometimes in the season, he's been close to breaking some of those. But for him to do it in a big moment when we really needed it, get some more points on the board for us, really flip the game, give us all the momentum, it's huge. It's a huge play when your special teams can make plays like that change the game. It's critical. And just for him, that's a guy that he's a great player, and receiver, we have a lot of great players, and so it's been been tough for him, not speaking for him, but just from, he maybe hasn't gotten some of the opportunities that he is a great player and he can make a lot of plays for us. So to see him get the opportunity on special teams and to take advantage of it, that just, it makes me happy because I know how hard he's worked. And obviously we have a lot of great receivers and, the camp he had and all those things, he maybe hasn't gotten to have the impact maybe that you expect going into the season. But for him to be able to make that impact on special teams, just happy for him. He deserves it. He's a really hard worker, and I'm really excited for him. Yeah, we just gotta. Maybe it sounds bad. Just stop the bleeding. For us, is just get on track. We gotta find some momentum, and we gotta start rattling off some wins. It's just where we're at, and that's always the mindset. But especially where we're at now, we don't have any more time to waste. Put ourselves in a little bit of a hole. So it is what it is. We've been in this situation before. We know what we have to do, and we know we have some tough teams coming up on our schedule. But also saying that it's the NFL every week, even if it's a team that isn't looked at as a Super Bowl contender, anybody can beat you any week. I've experienced that, been on both sides of it. My rookie year, we didn't have a great year, and we beat the Bills, who were a Super Bowl contender. We beat them like 9-6 at home. We beat Indy the last week of the year. We were 2-14, and they had to beat us to go to the playoffs. We beat them. So it's just this league. It's week to week, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. You have to play well to win. So that's what we understand that, and we have to just go do it.
Trevor, what did you see from Tank Bigsby today? He ran the ball and really kind of kept that offense going even to the extended drives.
Yeah, I think when you can run the ball like we did today, it's those drives are longer because it's 4, 6, 8 at a time, and it's not necessarily all the explosives down the field. We had a couple, but it's really just keeping our offense, their defense on the field, which is what you want. And for him to be able to he ran tough. Obviously him and Dearness broke some that were great runs, but just some of the 2, 3, 4, 5 yard runs those make a difference, and just running hard, running through some arm tackles, keeping his head down. I thought he did a really nice job. And then obviously when he got his opportunities to score, he did that. So just proud of that guy. He's the same, just worked hard, and it's cool to see him get to benefit from it. And he's having a great year, and we need him to keep playing like that.
Trevor, you talked about Coach Pederson's leadership, especially in the last week. And do you feel like this sort of mini camp time has come at the perfect time for the team?
Yeah, I think this was big for our team. We needed to win this game, and we did. So for us to understand the situation, our backs are kind of against the wall, and to respond the right way and get a win. I think that's great for our confidence moving forward. But like I said, it's we got another opponent next week, Green Bay, and we got to go put everything we can into that one to go win it. So it's short-lived. The wins and the losses are really short-lived in this league. You have to be able to move on. Same thing, like I said to you guys last week, after a loss, you got to be able to turn the page and go win the next one. So that's what our minds are on. Obviously, we are going to enjoy this for a few hours. You have to. It's too hard to win this league, but we're going to move on pretty quick.
Trevor, you've been in the NFL a few years now. Drake May is just starting out his NFL journey. After being through the rookie year yourself, what's the best advice you could give to him as he continues his NFL journey?
Yeah, I just told him after the game, he's a great player, and just to keep his head down, keep working. Just try to learn something every week. Don't be too hard on yourself. You got to keep your confidence. He's the leader of that team, of that organization. Honestly, when he's on the field playing, everybody looks to the quarterback, and he's a high pick, high drafted guy. Just keep his confidence. I think that's one thing. I didn't say all this to him in the short conversation I had, but just that's what I would say is there's going to be times going to be tested. Sometimes it's hard. I've been there. It's hard to keep your confidence, and when there's things going on around you, or the team's in a tough spot, and maybe you're not playing your best as a player, but you just have to keep going to work every day and keep your head up and lead your teammates. That's the biggest thing.
Trevor, when you see that turnover on downs, they go back up the field and score, and that can often be a momentum shift. What message did you give to the guys before you came out back on the next drive?
Just to go score. Take the game back into our hands. Like you said, they stopped us. They had a big turnover on downs, and they went and scored, and we felt like we had to put together a good drive again. We still were in control. I think they went for 2 and didn't get it, so we were still up 2 possessions. So obviously you're thinking go score a touchdown, but the biggest thing, honestly, is put together a good drive, get into field goal range, and try to at least get 3 or go score, obviously, if you can. But either way, you're just extending your lead and you're using the clock. That was in the fourth quarter. So for us, and that's what we were able to do today. We didn't have, I don't know if we had any 3 and outs. We were able to keep the clock running. And, sometimes that can be a bit boring, but you want to be in control of games like that and be able to do that. So I thought it was really, really good for us.
For the middle portion of this game, basically the second quarter and big parts of the third, was that the Jaguars team that you had expected from the get-go? Was that the maximum? Did you reach as close to your potential in that second and third quarters?
I don't think so. I mean, I still think that there's some things out there for us. I think offensively, you look at the final score and it looks like we scored a lot of points, and we did some great things. We had some great possessions and played clean football for the most part. So I am happy with it, and I'm never going to be upset with the win. But, I thought the turnover on downs was disappointing for us as an offense. You want to be able to really put the game away and go score a touchdown there and get a yard on 4th and 1. And we weren't able to do that. So that's one play. And then I think just some of the other possessions, there was a couple little things, and it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something in every game, but just looking at it, for what it is, we got to take the good and the bad. There were some things we did great, but there was also a couple plays, some communication stuff. I might have missed a throw or two or whatever it is. You still have to look at that and get better from it. So you can't just think just because you won, you don't look at all the bad stuff. You got to really use that. So no, I don't think it's as close as we can to. I wouldn't say that's our best football, but it was good enough to win today, and that's what matters. So we got to keep finding ways to do it on Sunday.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you all. Thank you all for hanging with us. We got them all. You heard every single Jaguar. Anybody else live? The ball boy, do we want to get him? Might as well. Bring him out there. We'll talk to him as well. Jags get the win, much needed win. So let's enjoy that victory, 32-16. And then let's find out in the next 4 weeks what kind of team we have. And we all have our opinions. We're 7 games in. But the beauty of the NFL is you always have a chance until you don't have a chance. And they got a long way to go, right? They got a long way to go before they don't have a chance. So we're going to find out. We think that they're a team, and analytics tell us that they're not a playoffs team, okay? But a couple years ago, they weren't a playoffs team either, so you never know. But they're going to get tested in these next 4 weeks, and if they can win a couple of those games, then we'll see. Do I go to 25, Liv, or what do you want me to do? Okay. Well, we'll appreciate you hanging out. We'll be back tonight. Action Sports Jax prime time. We'll do it at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Brent Martineau in London. All 10 days with the Jaguars, so he's anxious to come home as well. He'll break it all down for us. Jags Report Live tomorrow at Strings. Happy Jags Report Live. Only our second of the year, so that'll be fun. And we'll see you there tomorrow, and we'll show you some of the good stuff from the Jags. Thanks for hanging out with us. Back at the bank Sunday against the Cheeseheads from Green Bay, who are losing to Houston right now 3-0 early in the first. So long.
Jags Nation, thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show.